that you can have some visual images, and I can give you some on the horizon and broadening information where you are, yeah, for your life. But 20 times greater cost per capita is really coming. That's estimated, and that's just the Katrina cost of the storm. That situation that's coming to be as one of the very situations that we need to be paying attention to on the earth, that's coming. But New Orleans really sinking, and the New Madrid fault line being a very, very radical, like cauldron, like basin, which can be just blown. And land is sinking there in New Orleans, and then you've got all these hydrocarbons that are leaking up out of the ground. And then I think that many companies could have thought just short term that something was very stable, but geologically, that's one amongst the most unstable areas, along with, at the moment, we have a very, very, very honeycombing underneath us. And then this morning, there was a great, very serious bouncing and movement of the earth, but that I was just sensing visually everything underneath me where I am, and I could see enormous cavernous regions of empty space, matter of fact, ready just to drop. And that is just like Swiss cheese where I am. And then the earth at the moment is vibrating and like a jelly, and really quite seriously even moving up and down and sideways and bouncing. Um, and on these fault zones and things, we're really getting a lot of movement. But the salt domes certainly are sinking because the water table levels have changed radically, and there's a deep fracking that's going on as a result of the Earth's rocking and movement. And that's what breaks up all the granite into little bits of eventually sand for beaches and things. This fracking and the weather changes and water changing and freezing and temperature changing differentials, and gradients of water table level, and then the usage of all of that, which most of it has been very, very wrong. All the corn, the wheat, and the monocropped, drugged food stuffs that people are eating. It's dead food. No one has any future with that, and people need to look at what live food is for a sustainable future. And eventually, of course, at the moment we're doing some work with a person here with live food certified, looking into the variables of all of this and having some rating scale. Simply, that's all. But that, using animal manure or fish to grow, tomatoes, and that being organic, might not necessarily satisfy completely the sublimity of being live food certified. But being kind of general. And there's degrees of things. But the mandatory evacuation that's being, incurred around the sinkhole areas, and then these sinkholes are appearing ever more in various countries, and they certainly are happening where the water table is run and as dried, and huge cavernous zones, and water as rushed and then pulled big pieces of earth down, cauldron bell-shaped pieces of earth along with it, and washed it away and caused huge, ever more cavernous zones in these honeycomb spots underneath us where fault zones are. And then there's a spreading and sinking of methane and butane that was supposed to have been just able to be just stored, but that's spreading, and seismic activity is speeding up, and pressure and is becoming ever more extreme in areas, and that pressurized build-up and pressure release, which is being incurred also, that creates ever more fracking, but that as the earth rolls over a little more, and it's hit by wakes, which are being occurred, which we're talking about,